Hello and welcome to Classic Camera Terms and Turns. I'm your host, Rula Thirdz, coming to you from the internationally renowned Marin TV studios in magnificent San Rafael, California. People often ask me how I got such an unusual name. You baby boomers in the audience might remember another Rula from back in the day. Let's take a look at this clip.
The many roles I play call for many hairstyles. So I use hot curlers, blow dryers, things that can be brutal to hair. I switched from one conditioner to another looking for help. Then came...
I'm Rula Lenska. I'm Rula Lenska.
Richard,
I'm Rula
screen up.
I'm Rula Lenska.
Now on with the show. You know what? Her name is Rula Lenska, and I like her. Way to go. On with the show. As I was saying, this week we're going to illustrate how to frame a shot properly. Now, the first term we'll be discussing is headroom. Let's cut to the graphic so we can see what talent looks like with not enough headroom. As you can see, this poor schmuck is probably on life support because the top of his head has been cut off. Next up is a shot that illustrates what too much headroom looks like. When you frame talent like this, they look like they're on the Titanic, sinking fast. Finally, here's a shot with the perfect amount of headroom. Isn't it a thing of beauty? It certainly is. Moving right along, let's take a look at a shot most commonly used in talk show formats. It's called look room, and it's also known as nose room. This first shot is an absolute disaster. Without proper look room, it appears as if the talent is looking at something that doesn't exist. It's cut off. Our next illustration shows proper look room. 2/3 of the shot is on the side of the frame where the talent is looking. The other third is behind the talent. This gives the audience a sense of space and actually has a subliminal effect on the viewer, giving them the sense that the talent is looking at someone just off the frame. Now we're going to see how these shots, and a few we haven't discussed yet, are used in talk show formats. And it doesn't get any better than the Oprah Winfrey Show. First up, it's the master shot, also known as the safety shot. Why? Because if the director finds herself a beat or two behind when following the conversation, she can always cut to the 2 shot to regain her bearings. Next, here's a shot of the host. That would be Oprah, queen of the talk show format, addressing the audience. Please note the headroom, look room isn't relevant here because she's speaking directly to the viewer, right into the camera. Our next shot is the host talking to her guest. I'm sure you all recognize the queen of pop, Janet Jackson, talking to her host. And the last 2 shots may not be familiar to you, but they're used regularly on talk shows and in news interviews. In addition to introducing a little variety in the shots that are commonplace in the interview formats, these shots serve another important purpose, giving depth to television, which is still trapped in a 2-dimensional reality. Think about it. When we watch television, we can only view height and width. In order to introduce a sense of our 3-dimensional world, directors of photography frame shots to give the illusion of depth. Here are a couple of examples. First up is an over-the-shoulder shot of the guest, and lastly is an over-the-shoulder shot of the host. Now, even though we're still watching an image that's 2-dimensional, shooting it at an angle like this with one person in the foreground and the other slightly further back tricks our eyes into thinking we're seeing depth where there really isn't any. I bet you thought I forgot about the camera turns part of the show. Well, I certainly didn't. Let me address the camera directly, and I think you'll get the point. All right, camera, do you know how to tilt up and down? Very good. Now, you'd never forget how to pan right or left, would you? Excellent. Do you know how to zoom in? Great. Phew, I don't know about you guys, but my brain is about to explode. Next week, I promise to give you the full story about my name. But until then, I want to thank our crew, along with the members of our studio audience, Annie and Manny Kin. Annie, Manny, we're really happy you could join us. Thank you. I'm Rula Thirdz, reminding you to keep things in focus. Bye-bye, everybody.
I'm Rula Lenska. I'm Rula Lenska. I'm Rula Lenska.
Fan-effing-tastic. Woo!